I'm extremely proud. And this is where the Cheesecake Factory, I felt like I was turning the corner. And I feel like after Saturday, I feel like I stepped around the corner. Good morning. Coffee time. I just finished my LMNT because I've been having a lot of, lately, achiness and pain. And I think part of it, twofold. The weather change, the cold change, and then I've been doing a lot, especially crocheting, because I'm having a lot of pain and kind of in my hand and then up the arm and things like that. It's very interesting kind of pain because it's like if you get rug burn and then if you touch the skin afterwards, it's just that hypersensitivity as well as like this tooth gnawing aching that goes to the bone. This is just what I've experienced with my autoimmune stuff. I go back, I think in like 6 or 8 weeks back to the rheumatologist. So fingers crossed, it's just, if I could cross them, fingers crossed, it's just the weather change and the fact that I have been more active. Olive and I have been practicing riding the bike and her running next to me.
She's slowing down. Look at that popping out. Oh, that was a good run, she says. Because it was a good run. All right, Olive.
We've done it twice. Yesterday, we almost had 2 crashes. One of them was my fault and the other one was a squirrel. Well, it was a squirrel each time, but the second time I almost crashed was almost my fault. My hand, like left hand slid off the handle when I tried to stop quickly. But this poor squirrel's torment. Poor Olive. Poor dog. We have been really active this week. We have gone hiking, biking, walking the dogs. I have enjoyed it so much. I've really enjoyed the bike riding with Olive. I think because she has such long legs, getting to see her run, I love it. Because I can't. I tried jogging with her. I just do not move fast enough. I don't know if I ever will. That's all right. Hello, speak of the devil. Yes, the big nose. Anywho, what else? We did getting my sister last week. She's been here, let's see, a week. Went back today. It was lovely seeing her. At the same time, it's nice getting back into a routine. I gotta hold the camera stand down. She's about to bump it over with her butt. It's nice getting back into a routine because my mom is down at my brother's helping him with his house. My sister and brother-in-law. This is just what you get when you have 4 dogs in one house. 4 crazy dogs. It's been so nice getting back to a routine. I don't know if it's just because I've gotten older or I'm realizing the benefit when you're trying to make tiny habit changes and stuff. Keeping to those habits, it just helps. It's been nice. I can't even explain it more than that. Like that's poor expression of it. I feel so much better waking up, doing like our morning conversations, the dog walks. Scott and I have talked about it though, because it's getting winter. We're probably going to change it into a daily dose of walking. And it'll be 2 miles because we have the dog stroller for Ryu. When it's warmer in the day, I don't do well in the cold. As far as weight, y'all, I weighed myself. I've lost another 3 pounds. I am down to 257. I am super ecstatic about that. I have been really doing very good about not having even bites of chocolate, no heavy whipping cream, like made into whipped cream at the house. I made some last night. Full honesty, made some last night. I took 2 bites and it was just, it's how I always made it. Nah, blah, done, chucked it out. No reason to have done it, and it kind of got it out of my system, which feels really good. Have had no desire to eat chocolate, the dark chocolate, because I'm on my period, which is the time I tend to want it. Yeah, I've been super proud. We've been doing the chuck roasts, steaks, bacon and eggs for breakfast, all these kinds of things. What else? We have been really on point about searching for meat deals lately. Things have gotten so expensive. When we first moved up here, ribeye was $12.99 a pound. It is $16.99 a pound. That is almost like a 33% increase in cost for 1 pound of ribeye, and we can't afford that. What I've been doing is looking for the grocery stores and things like that. I have 3 apps on my phone, and then we just periodically have to go to Costco for various things. And I check every week. So if you're struggling with costs, do that. It's a trade-off for time. If you have the money, then you don't need to waste the time doing it, unless you're just a frugal person, which good either way. Personality, you decide. But if you are struggling with the costs, do that. You have to be willing to spend the time to get the benefit of not spending as much money. Having a deep freezer is so helpful because then you can buy what's on sale and then cycle through, so you're not eating the same thing over and over and over again. The plans for this week, getting back on track. My brother-in-law keeps sending me text messages of, I see you did some cardio. When are you going to get back to weightlifting? That is our goal this week, is to get back to going to the gym. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy the strength training aspect of it. It's one of those things that you can see the improvements. And yeah, so that's our big goal this week, as well as continuing to read my favorite books. I'm extremely proud, and this is where the Cheesecake Factory, I felt like I was turning the corner, and I feel like after Saturday, I feel like I stepped around the corner. Saturday, I'm sitting in the reading room reading, and I look down and Ryu lay down, and I noticed this spot on her like lower abdomen, and I got on my hands and knees. I'm like, what is that? It's about yay big, size of an egg, flat, obviously. And she had what looked like an abscess to me. I paid close attention to my dogs, and Ryu, I can't flip her over to check her entire body because of her neck. So I kind of get to see what I see when I look at her. And of course, I went in panic mode. I am not the person to call during an emergency, by the way. I panic. I calmly panic, at least I do that. So it was around 11:30 and I just started freaking out in my brain. Called the vet that we take him to up here, called my sister's clinic, even though she's on maternity leave. No one can see him. I called a complete random vet that was up here that was open a little bit later on the weekends. They had no space. So we ended up taking her to the emergency vet. And of course, what's going through my head is cancer, or she has a congested spleen. She's had it for about 1.5 years. We've done all the testing and ultrasounds and all this fun stuff, and we haven't found a reason. I have no idea why. My sister has no idea why, so it's one of these things that it just is. Anyways, I was like, oh my God, maybe the spleen's ruptured and she's deteriorating from the inside out, and that's what's happening here, and cancer, and just all these things are going through my head. Because she's my 13-year-old girl. She's my last older dog. And we go there, and long story short, turns out it was what that vet called an ulcer. However, I was very iffy about it just because some of what I've seen, most of you guys don't know, but I've 10 years in healthcare doing physical therapy. Actually, my first 2 years in the field was doing wound care. Why physical therapy? Why physical therapists do wound care? It was in a very rural area and there weren't wound doctors. And so, yeah, I did sharp debridement, cleaning wounds, changing bandages, all this stuff. And so I know quite a bit about wounds. Beyond that, they gave us a topical antibiotic to put on it, and then a oral antibiotic for her. And she said, don't keep it covered. But after they scrubbed and cleaned it and we brought it home, I'm like, I can see some of her like inner fat layers. And my sister brought the baby up and they came and had dinner with us, and I had her look, and she agreed that I needed to keep it covered because you could actually see the blood vessels. It had actually deteriorated through the whole layer of the dermis. Anywho, she is doing pretty good. She's been a little turd, and I tried to give her a little time without the helmet. That was a mistake. And she licked the bandage off. Like she must have been going at it for a little while, the little booger. So now she has to keep her cone of shame on. She's having to stay in the basement because what's happening the worst part about this is what's happening is because her vision is cut off from wearing the helmet. When you call her, she jerks her head really quickly and it pinches the nerves coming out of her spinal cord and she yips. Yesterday, she was upstairs in our bedroom and Scott called her name and she turned her head and yipped. And then she tries to like run from the pain. I had the legs up on my part of the bed and she tried to jump on the bed and couldn't get up and fell down and yipped. And Scott's trying, like, she kind of gets very crotchety when it's happening. I mean, it's hurting. And she tried a second time and then slid off again and yipped. And Scott just had to kind of play like football defense to keep her from trying to jump on the bed till the pain calmed down. And then for about 5 minutes, she didn't want to put any weight on her front left leg just because of all that nerve pain running down through there. So she's just having to stay in the basement where she will go down and give her love throughout the day, but she just can't be doing the stairs and just can't be around where she's getting called or the other dogs are walking around her because she's jerking her head around from that hood. But not cancer, not ruptured spleen. I'll take it. And the win for me is I was very anxious the entire time. I was jiggling my leg and poor Scott was trying to get me to stop jiggling my leg, but it didn't work. Not one time did I think about using food. It didn't occur to me to go and get cake or anything like that the whole time I was there. And then afterwards, even the massive amount of stress, I kind of like the emotional turmoil I went through, all of it, I didn't. We came home and ate our yummy, delicious chuck roast Scott made us in the crock pot. As I said, it feels like I turned the corner of Cheesecake Factory and then I feel like I've actually stepped fully around the corner. Not that I won't have struggles or do something dumb later on. Not that I'm going to be perfect. But the fact that my brain is now realizing that is not the first track to step onto. That is an old track, like habit. And that's not the habit to go to. Yesterday I was feeling bad. And so I decided what I should do is I took Olive for a run on the bicycle. It helped. It did not help my hand hurting. I don't know why I thought it would. I just didn't think it through. But that's okay. It's these moments, y'all. It's these moments that are the pivotal moments that we recognize that we're starting to see the changes happen mentally with our habits. Because I'm going to do a video about this one time. The number one answer I could give anybody of how to be successful, how to lose weight long term. It's one simple answer. Slowly changing our tiny habits. That's it. We got in the habit of eating bad. We got in the habit of binge eating. We got in the habit for reaching for food when we needed emotional support and all this stuff. And it takes small, minute changes to guide us away from that, to go then to other habits that are not around food. And that's literally the key. That is the key. And for me, it's that with doing carnivore because the autoimmune and everything else that goes along with it. Anywho, enough ranting and rambling. I appreciate you guys so very much. Do not forget, we have book club next Thursday, which would be the 16th of November, 6:00 p.m. in Discord. Discord's free. You just go to carnivorousmeat.com, click on the book club link, and it'll kind of walk you through how you can get set up for that. And we're doing Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg, Fogg. And I hope to see you guys there. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Something that I did order that came in today, I'm super excited about, is I ordered some more Redmond's salt. If you guys haven't used it, it is my favorite salt of all times. But not only that, what poor Amanda calls the Sasquatch seasoning, because I can't ever remember what it's called. I got, boom. Y'all, this is my favorite seasoning. It's what we've been putting on steaks and chuck roast. Oh, it is so good. It kind of gives it a little bit more than a traditional pot roast taste, kind of like with rosemary and stuff like that. Because it's got, let's see, garlic, onion, butter powder, mustard seed, organic white powder, organic red pepper, coriander, rosemary, dill. My favorite. I will tell you, because it, excuse me, because it's got the butter in it, it does contain dairy. For anybody who is trying to do 100% dairy free, my favorite. But also, you guys have seen me talk about it. They just came out with this. It is the apple pecan smoked salt. My absolute favorite. I got as a going home present for my mom. They have a set of the hickory, cherry, and chef's blend. I did have to, because this is a limited run, buy this one. But oh my gosh, guys, if you haven't tried it, try these. I cook with them almost every day now. They're my favorite. Plus just their plain old Redmonds. I didn't buy any because we got some last time. Plain old Redmond's salt.